Ladies, gentlemen, those of you who are otherwise inclined, welcome to Anime Out of Context. My name is Dylan Kreider, and those of you who are regular listeners of the show might be a little confused as to why you're listening to my dulcet tones instead of hearing Remington dissect your favorite anime. Well, fret not, my friends. Sean and Rem will be back next week, but Sean got sick last minute and was too much of a little crybaby to record the episode. As a result, I was dredged up from the depths of hell last minute to create the ultimate low-effort content, a clip show. But this isn't just any ordinary clip show. This is also an opportunity for me to shill out for our Patreon by sharing some of our content that's normally paid exclusive. Some of you may know that every single episode of the podcast comes with its very own pre-episode banter, where Sean and Rem warm up with either improv games, terrible BuzzFeed quizzes, or even just telling silly stories. Today, I'm going to share some of our favorites with you. So just sit back, snuggle up with your limited edition Remington Dakimakura and a nice warm glass of plum tea, and enjoy. Our first selection comes from episodes 85, 86, and 87, fairly early on when the lads were finding their chops and were stuck in a blanket fort in Sean's basement.
Okay, Remington, here for another episode today. You feeling all right? You feeling good?
As good as I ever can when I know I'm about to watch anime.
Well, Rem, I've got a question for you.
All right.
All right. Now, this one might be a little bit specific, but I feel like you can come up with something decent.
Okay.
All right, Rem, if you were an educational rapper, what would your name and subject be? Because I've got a perfect one.
All right. Well, say yours, and then I'll try. I'll be thinking of what mine would be.
Well, I'd want to be a history rapper, talk about the history of things of the world. Maybe a little leaning heavy into American history, because my rapper name, I feel like, would be Benny Franks.
Oh, that's a decent one right there.
Mm-hmm.
This is a decent one.
Because after all, Ben Franklin had his toes dipped in so many different types of fields.
Oh, his toes were very renowned.
Well, what about you, Rem? I want to know what kind of hip-hop sensation you would be.
All right, so one place that my mind immediately goes is I would be the M. Caesar, right?
Okay.
Which decently works. It also gives you a sense of authority, right?
Right.
Exactly down that line, you could be fucking beautiful. I'm the square root of E.
Oh, shit.
Because I am the MC, baby. That's it. I'm the square root of E. E equals MC squared. So just square root both sides. There you go. Square root of E. And I'd be doing a bunch of science raps. And I'm not talking about this isn't going to be casually educational. All right. This is
no. Don't be ridiculous. We have to go all out.
Yeah, no, this is I want my educational raps to be on advanced physics, okay?
If Hamilton taught us anything, the only way we are going to get people to learn is through some smooth rhythm. You ready with your question, bud?
All right, I am ready, Sean.
All right, Elena. Well, let's get started. I can't wait to hear what your question is this week.
All right, Sean, you're going to war.
I'm going to war.
You're going to battle. You can send...
Is it a waifu war?
It is not a waifu war.
Oh, then I have no experience.
It's just a proper battle. You cannot be on the front lines.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
My chances are very low if I'm fighting.
It's objectively a good decision to not have you on the front lines. But you still need to send someone to be a general of your troops.
Okay.
Your options are exclusively classic fairy tale characters.
Oh,
so,
shit.
Which classic fairy tale character are you sending as your general in this epic war?
Oh, man. To fight on the front lines and lead the troops.
Yep.
Oh, man.
They can focus, they choose how they want to. They can focus on fighting. They can focus on strategy. They can focus on diplomacy. Whatever the strategy they decide, they can do. So it's not like they have to do one thing. They have all of the opportunities as a general.
Genuine question.
All right. Genuine answer.
Is Sun Tzu a fairy tale person?
You know what? He's not.
Oh, dang.
I'm pretty sure that he's not. Fine writer. But I think different kinds of literature. I'll be honest.
Okay. Oh God. So what are the parameters of fairy tale? Because that seems to have changed throughout the years.
I'm willing to keep it broad unless you step out of your bounds. So, for example, I would totally accept the three pigs. Heck, I would allow you to have the three pigs as a unit, frankly.
Yeah.
They
the
can be
pork
effective.
platoon.
Or, frankly, you may want to separate it and just get the smart one.
Yeah.
Don't keep the waste. You could have Little Red Riding Hood. You could have the lumberjack from Little Red Riding Hood. Like you could.
Oh man.
Mother hen, mother goose.
Oh man. See, now I'm
The goose that lays golden eggs.
See, that would be great for funding, but I feel like unless Goose Game is any standard to base things
Excuse me.
upon.
That's Untitled Goose Game.
Yeah,
to
excuse
you,
me.
bastard.
Untitled Goose Game is anything to go on, then the goose would be a good option.
Is that not a military strategy game?
It kind of is.
Oh, okay, well, you know what, then fucking we're in.
It's urban guerrilla warfare. That little tiny British village has never been the same.
But unfortunately, more individualistic. The
Yeah.
goose, which ain't great for leadership.
No, it's a very selfish creature.
Yeah,
Which is a shame. It just wants to have a picnic.
yeah.
I think that was one of the goals. It's been a while since I've played it. Oh man, fairy tale creatures that are leaders. See, I'm trying to flash through all of the fairy tales I know. It's like, no, that's too good of a person. That wouldn't be good for war. No, they die. No, they die. There's a lot of death in fairy tales, isn't there?
There's so much.
Man, you probably have an answer to this already, don't you?
I'm going through the different ones, and there are definitely ones that I wouldn't want to have.
Yeah, that's what I keep running up against, and I'm just trying to think what would be better.
Here's a decent candidate for you. Grandma from Red Riding Hood, but wait, it's not the grandma, it's the big bad wolf. In grandma garb.
Master of disguise, clever liar. That could be good for some subterfuge and guerrilla warfare.
Good deception, good aggression, right? As well as you see the other army peeking over and it's like, oh no, they're just being led by a granny. Let's attack, and that's how you get them.
That's not a bad plan. Another thing that popped in my head was possibly Pinocchio, because he's kind of got an immortal body.
You know what? It would also, I think with Pinocchio, the limitations are, of course, his age.
Yes. Child soldiers are bad?
Well, child generals aren't ideal.
Fair point.
But you could just have him keep telling a lie and have infinite wood supplies, which is really useful.
That is true. You know what? I guess that's a fairy tale character.
Oh boy, here we go. Who is it?
Baba Yaga.
I mean,
What's the matter, Remington? If you want to inspire fear in your enemies, you need a psychotic old witch.
maybe. Probably not my first choice. I'll be honest.
It's not my first choice either, Rem.
You know, if you're
I just don't know fairy tales.
If you're thinking Pinocchio, then why not go Geppetto, who clearly has this crafting mentality, and he knows how to make magic puppets that grow when they lie.
Slight lore correction there. It was actually the blue fairy that
Shit.
gave him
The blue fairy! We've cracked it wide open, John!
Or the fairy god. Any of the fairies. Think of it. Hard to kill, immensely powerful. Their magic is not defined by any stretch.
They're not really... Well, I was about to say they're not really the fighting sort, but was it the green fairy godmother? Was it her that's real ferocious?
Oh, from Sleeping Beauty.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Disney version.
Because all of the other fairy godmothers, or even just fairies, pretty pacifistic.
Yeah.
Pretty gentle.
I've got it.
Oh, okay, let's hear it.
Do Disney fairy tales count?
They might. They might.
Maleficent. Because
you know what?
That just seems like the best option, because if you are to take the live action films into account, she actually leads armies.
Yeah, it's true.
And she's a bad bitch, and I like that about her.
I'll let you select Maleficent. Meanwhile, I will continue with Grandma Wolf and our patrons. We'll set it up in the Patreon discussion of our Discord.
Yeah,
we'll have a vote. We'll see
who wins in our epic war.
Maleficent and her armies versus Grandma Wolf and his armies.
Yeah, we've got to be PC about this.
It's an. I don't know what the wolf identifies when he's the grandma. I don't
like. Is it just a disguise, or is it more than that?
Yeah, and I'm not gonna make that assumption. But Grandma Wolf is my answer. Maleficent is your answer. Go to the Discord now and vote which one is the dominant army.
Yeah, we'll drop a poll there. We'll see how
I'm
it
just
goes.
saying. His you look and you're like, oh, obviously this is a crazy evil bitch. Mine, you're like, oh, it's an adorable grandma. But wait, and I think that's gonna play a long way.
And let's be real, Rem. People will vote for you just to spite me.
Hell yeah!
All right, I think that's enough. That's about 10 minutes of banter. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, mark.
So Sean,
Yeah. Yep.
I've got a controversial question today.
What's your controversial question, Rem?
It's another popular one, right?
Okay.
Because, I mean, if I'm being honest, it's because we can just do the popular ones for a while before we have to be original.
Hey now. I was very original with mine.
Hey Dylan, I know you don't normally edit the pre-rolls, but can you insert "Hey now" as he says that? Thanks.
He's not gonna do that.
Good old Patreon editing for him. Oh, he's gonna hate us.
Especially today.
Anyway, so the question today, Sean, is a hot dog a sandwich?
Oh, I see. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Because the first inclination is always you want to say no, but you're always combated with the question, why are you discounting it as a sandwich?
I mean, it does have two hemispheres upon opposite ends that are in fact bread, which is the qualifying premise of a sandwich.
So what's your stance on this? And I might have follow-ups depending on on your answer.
It's a very logical puzzle, isn't it? It's one of those things that you have to be like, well, I mean, clearly it's a sandwich because, it's between two pieces of bread, but really it's all one piece, so how could that be a sandwich? Doesn't that make it more akin to a taco?
Is a taco a sandwich?
See, and that's where we get tricky.
I think most people would agree that a sub is a sandwich.
And you have to cut it open, and you don't always cut all the way through.
Yeah. And in fact, I would argue most of the subs I get from Subway, they're not cut all the way through. They have that, and I prefer it that way. And
yeah, because it gives you a little bit of a barrier.
Exactly. And no one is saying that those are not sandwiches. They would be savages.
Honestly, my first instinct was to put myself into sandwich camp, and I think that's where I'm gonna stay.
All right, follow-up question, Sean.
Yes.
Is a loaf of bread a sandwich?
Okay. I see where I was wondering where the comedy was going to come from this time, Rem. I was like, oh man, a question that could have comedic potential, but just isn't working. Let me see. How could we twist this to make the goofs, to make it worth people's money?
Are we supposed to be funny in these pre-banters?
I hope so. This is what we do to warm up for the actual podcast, you son of a bitch.
This is what people actually... Just think, Sean. People had to spend money for this conversation.
And you pulled the wool over their eyes there, Remington. And to answer your stupid question, I'm going to say no, because the contents of a sandwich have to be something that is not bread.
Okay, so if it's a non-bread, then...
Yes.
It is a sandwich.
As long as it has two bread hemispheres and the thing in the middle is not bread, there you go.
All right. So to say I have one bread on the table.
Yes.
I grab one slice of bread, hang it over. Do I have an air sandwich?
You know what, Remington? Yes, you do, Remington.
Okay.
It's what I eat on the regular, actually. Second only to the popular British sandwich, the toast sandwich. Which kind of puts things into a bit of a strange department, but I feel like it qualifies because they do something different with each layer of bread.
Hey, Sean.
What's up? You got another one for me? Hey, bring it on. If I go to the opposite end of the world and you put a piece of bread on the world and I put one on the opposite end on the exact opposite of the world, does that make it a world sandwich? You're damn right it does.
All right, so is a Hot Pocket a sandwich?
No, it's a calzone.
Are calzones a sandwich?
No, fuck off.
Why aren't they a sandwich?
It's because it's the full hemisphere, man. The important distinction is the two distinct hemispheres. Once you have it completely surrounded in a full pop.
But then we get back to, I mean, the hot dog is still connected, right? As is a sub. how much connection before it's not allowed?
It has to. If there's a full 360 connection, then it is not a sandwich. Is my philosophy.
So if I cut one
is a
side
burrito
open,
a sandwich?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. If I cut one side open, just one, is it then a sandwich?
I would say if you cut one side open and that side is like if you were to take a rectangular prism.
Yep.
And you were to
the comedy is rife.
Math jokes, everybody. We got it all. You just take that prism and you take a knife and you cut about 75% of the way into one side of it all the way through. I'd say that's probably the limit. Like that's the most bread you could have to make it qualify as a sandwich. Otherwise, it's more along the lines of like a calzone or a pizza.
Okay. If I cut a calzone, one side of a calzone, then it's a sandwich?
If you cut it deep enough, I would say so.
Okay. Good to know. I'm learning.
Yep. Basic logic.
But of course, when I bite into a Pop-Tart, does the bitten part of a Pop-Tart become a sandwich? Once I've finished half of a Pop-Tart, is the other half now half open completely?
Don't be ridiculous because Pop-Tarts aren't food. They are not fit for human consumption.
I mean, neither is the entire fucking Earth, but we allowed an Earth sandwich. I'm finding holes in your standards, smut.
As long as you don't find too many holes in my sandwich, I think we'll be good.
Oh God! So I think that's going to end the worst, the worst question we've had so far.
And of course, it's your question.
You're welcome, patron. You're welcome, and I'm sorry.
We're both sorry. Let's get started then. In 3, 2, 1, mark.
Wasn't that just charming? Listening to those two as they were getting their footing and still bright-eyed, before their spirits were absolutely destroyed by anime. Next up, we have something a bit more recent, harping back to episode 170, where we had our wonderful guests David and Jordan from Shonen Flop, where David shares a tale of workplace heartbreak.
Hi, Sean! And also, hello to both Jordan and David. It's lovely to have you both here.
Hey, what's up?
Hello. You don't encourage him, please. He starts every pre-banter that way, and it's just a bad way to introduce anything.
I disagree. Sometimes you gotta have a positive attitude.
Bad. Thank you.
Call him Mr. Espresso.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
with our pre-banters, sometimes we do interesting conversations. Sometimes we do some improv or some different comedy bits. And then sometimes when I'm feeling lazy, we just do a good old BuzzFeed quiz. And we pretend it's good content.
Nice.
Is it like, are you a Sean or a Remington or a Dylan?
I thought about
there is a BuzzFeed
utilizing that
quiz
quiz
Ooh.
today.
That's how you know you've made it.
I
There's
decided
a
against
BuzzFeed
it.
quiz.
See, Jordan and I, we just read the official Shonen Flop fan fiction that people have
Does
written.
that exist?
Yep.
It does now after people
Rule 34 of the
We
internet.
feel you guys. We feel
I
you
bet
guys.
if you slipped Alex Patak like $50, he would definitely.
Oh, I don't know
do it.
about him. Victor, though.
Oh God, yes. I think I talked to Sean about this. How like every Discord has the like kind of strange, but like not like, or what's the best way to saying it? Like a not kind. They're kind of weird but harmless.
Victor's a good
I don't know
guy.
if that sounds kind of.
Victor's a good guy.
Yep, yep.
He
He's just
hear
weird.
this. Victor's
He's
a good
weird
guy.
but harmless. And like there was a dude in your Discord, and I messaged Sean. I was like, "Is he like your version of Victor?" And like I won't say his name obviously, but Sean, you were like, "Yes."
Victor, I love you. Victor, if you're hearing this, I love you. Victor, I love you. You've been
good.
here
Yeah,
since the
Victor's
beginning.
so
I
good.
love you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sticking around.
Victor
So,
literally
Remington,
commented.
What
Victor comments.
god
Oh, sorry.
awful quiz do you have lined up for us this time?
Oh baby.
Well, you know, because we're doing anime stuff, collabing with some. I couldn't find any manga quizzes. All right, I couldn't find any manga quizzes for our brothers from Shonen Flop. So it is just anime. It's figuring out which anime protagonist each of you guys are going to be. So
Well, this
I'm
is
going to
this is
ask
going to be tough
it.
because
a
as a
question.
manga podcaster, I've never watched anime.
Yeah, well,
full of
hopefully, you know, we will have answers that are common enough that at least Sean can explain them And if any of the rest of us know them, even better. So I'm going to ask a question, and then we're going to have, we'll say Sean answers first, then David, then Jordan. All right, that'll be the order.
Okay.
Okay.
Generally, how I recommend just mentally keeping track is after a question is asked, just keep in mind, like, the answer most applicable unless and until a better answer arises. That way you don't need to keep track of, like, all the choices, just whatever the best one is at any given time.
Okay.
All right, so we start
Sounds
off
good.
with, very simply, how do you pass the time? And I'm seeing, oh God,
Say that
there's
again. Say that again.
a whole 8 choices.
Remington. Say that again.
Yeah,
how
you're
do
coming
you-
through garbled again, Remington.
Oh no, I'm a robot. All right.
Do you want to share your screen and then we can just read the question? So even if your audio is like having issues and you don't have to worry about
David
repeating
with
it like
the
6 times.
fucking
Yeah, you know,
ideas over here.
that is a good idea. One
Oh,
sec, let me
yeah.
get to...
Solving problems.
Yeah, I went to business school, lads.
I went to art school. I can't solve shit.
Yeah. Jordan's like seen my Excel sheets. He's like, wow, you
Yeah.
really learned something in college. It's like my over-engineered word of the day Excel sheet where I have like a function that checks if I've used the word before word of the day.
Okay.
All right, there you guys go. Can you see it?
Yes, I can.
Yes,
Yep.
I can.
All right, so once again, so Sean will be the first to answer, then David, then Jordan. How do you pass the time? Training to be the best, learning new skills to achieve your goal, battling demons internally, hanging out with your friends, battling actual demons, plotting to overthrow a government, carrying on a legacy, or doing anything independent. Sean, what do you do to pass the time?
Ooh.
I am a millennial, so therefore I am constantly battling my inner demons.
See,
All
mine
right,
are
perfect.
external, because one of them's in this call right now.
Oh, hey.
So I will say I'm gonna
Me?
go full normie to balance it out and say hang out with your friends.
Okay,
One of them's
okay.
in this call right now.
Very
Isn't
nice,
that
very
right,
nice.
Sean?
Oh,
Yeah, this is
wow.
awkward.
This is
Isn't
getting
it?
hot.
David, we're
Hot and
done.
heavy.
We're done. I'm never recording with you again. This is bullshit. I
Yeah.
can't fucking believe this.
That's
I
fine.
can't
Now
believe
all the Patreon money is mine. All $94 of
Hell
our
yeah.
Patreon money.
All right, so last but not least, Jordan, what one? How do you pass the time?
Oh, well, as an artist, I constantly plot to overthrow a government, you know? That's pretty much what I'm
Oh,
doing
perfect.
most of the day.
But of course,
Mr.
But of
Red
course.
Sprite.
Yeah.
All right. Fittingly,
we
who
are-
is your best friend? Time to show your cards. Your boss. Who's okay? I'm gonna interrupt the question. Whose best friend is their boss? That seems just
Yeah, what?
a terrible decision making.
So I thought I was friends with my boss, like my old boss, because I just started a new job in 2 days at the same company.
Yeah.
And I would send him like word of the day every day, and he messaged me yesterday saying, "Stop sending these to me." And I said, "I thought you enjoyed these," and he said, "No, it's fine. You don't need to send them to me anymore." And I was like, "Wow, fuck you too."
That's so good.
Fuck you too, man.
That's so
I was like,
good.
this is like, wow, this is really unnecessary. That's really burning a bridge with me.
That's also so oddly
How
tragic.
dare
in a
you
way.
spare knowledge?
All right, so
I messaged his boss and I said, I am very
He
hurt
called
by
his
this.
mom, and then she...
No joke. I texted his director and said, Anthony really hurt my feelings when he did this.
Oh my god,
such a good
David!
story. I love this.
Jesus.
I will post it in this. I'll post it in the chat that I actually texted
my
his
God.
boss.
Oh my
Because
god.
I'm a petty
You're such
bitch
a
like
petty
that.
bitch.
That's so
Jesus.
good. That's so
I
good.
said Anthony hurt my feelings and it makes me sad. And he
Yo,
said,
you
"What
should call
happened?"
his mom, though.
I'll put a note.
Yeah, you
I
should
will
do
make
that.
a note. All
right,
right.
who-
I'll stop talking so much. But there you go in the chat. You
I
can
I
see.
love that so
Really
much.
see.
All right, who's your best friend?
Don't-
Your boss, who maybe you send words of the day to. Your childhood friend. What is a friend? I have too many to count. Your mentor, your rival, your sibling, or your parent. Sean, who's your best friend, Sean? Sean, who's your best
Yeah.
friend?
Gonna be a few podcasts
Yeah,
ending today.
oof,
huh?
that's a. The real question is, Remington, is how do I view you?
That's fair, that's
Are you
fair.
guys in the same room?
Let's say, because in some ways, Remington, you are a rival, but in other ways, you're a childhood friend. So, let's keep it wholesome. Let's go childhood friend.
Okay.
Aw.
Oh, no, you
David,
shouldn't have clicked that.
who's your best friend?
Mine is, I would honestly say too many to count. My girlfriend keeps being like, how the fuck do you know so many people? And she's like legitimately worried about if we get married, how many people I might need to invite. So she's like been thinking, she's like, maybe we'll just have to do a destination wedding to weed out.
But like obviously
He's a demon.
Sean and I are going to be invited, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah,
Oh,
obviously.
Of course. I don't know if I
Yeah,
will, though.
Of course.
I
Yeah.
thought that answer would I thought I would be the answer to that, you know.
Instead of inviting him, I'm gonna buy you a chair that doesn't make so much fucking
look,
noise.
I was gonna say childhood friend for David, but now after that, honestly, man, I don't know
that's
what a
me.
friend is. I really just don't know what
got
a
me.
friend
I'll be
anymore after that.
Who knows? It's hard to tell.
Friend.
It's hard
really
to tell.
hard to
I'll
tell.
be your friend, buddy.
Who do you look up to? Who do you gentlemen look up to? All of your friends, especially if they're plentiful. Just yourself, my mentor, my sensei, my boss, my ambiguous superior, my rival, or no one. All right, Sean.
I mean, I feel like the easiest answer here is all of the friends because
Aww.
they're the people that I actually, regularly interact with. And I don't think I have a sensei currently. Or I did, but that was back when I did, karate when I was like in 5th grade. So I don't think that.
I feel like maybe mentor and sensei
You
are a
don't
little
still look up to him?
redundant.
Well, and then there's just the
I don't
vague,
know,
like,
man.
superior.
Yeah.
Like, all right,
Like, is that them
David.
trying to translate senpai, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, I look up superior so I could complain to him about Anthony hurting my feelings.
Oh, perfect.
Also, if you guys look at the picture, he's called Bill Hugger in my phone because he used to come up to my desk and say it's hug o'clock and give me a hug every day until he.
What is this relationship with your boss?
Jesus Christ, David, what the fuck have you been through?
I'm so confused.
I love you, Bill.
Does your girlfriend know about this?
Oh, I don't know if she's. I know she hasn't met Bill. He moved to Seattle with his fiance, so it's sad.
Oh my God,
Oh,
David.
Bill, what an enigma. He loves hugs but hates word of the day.
Yeah.
Oh, the lore, the lore.
No. Bill is my
Lord,
boss's boss.
Oh,
The boss who
okay.
said
Oh, yeah,
no more
okay.
word of the day. That was Big Tony.
Big Tony. His
Bill
name's
is his
Big
boss.
Tony.
The lore.
Oh, yeah, I got him
You're
picture-
friends
I can't
with a
believe-
Simpsons
got-
mob character.
Yeah, I can't believe I feel hurt. Like I regret getting him cookies that looked like him for his
How
birthday
did you
now.
do that?
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
So I was like, all right. So I went on a date, and now you guys are probably like, all right, fuck this test. They're just gonna. Tell
David,
Basically.
shut the fuck
weird
up
shit
and
he
tell the
does at work.
story.
So, I'm trying to be full flesh. All right. So anyway, I went on a date with Hinge with this girl whose name happened to be Sarah Silverman, and she runs a bakery where she makes cookies that look like people's faces. Okay, and so I remembered like 2 months later, and it was like, let me do that for Big Tony. So I sent her pictures of Big Tony, and she made cookies that look like his face, except I think she reused an Obama mold because they kind of look like Obama if he was white. And like 6 people said that to me, and so but I still got him cookies that look like him. And after this call, I'll try and find the picture of him holding the cookie that looks like him next to him.
I need to see that. What the
Oh, wait, okay. Oh, wait, so now I have a question. So, all right, so, and to clarify, these were cookies of Big Tony, right? Your boss.
They were cookies that looked like his
Yeah,
face.
so
Yes.
I have a question. Did Big Tony ever give any indication of friendship, or did you just make him cookies of his face and send him words of the day, like, unprompted?
I don't have. My counsel has told me not to.
Because it's like, don't get me wrong, these are super generous. Also, yeah, just fuck the quiz. We're not even gonna finish.
No,
we're
yeah.
just.
Yeah, right. You're like, David's ruined this recording. All right, I'm gonna try. Sorry if you hear any typing. I'm gonna see if I can
love
find
the-
this cookie picture because I
I
forget
love
where I
the
put
idea
it.
that Big Tony like barely knows who David is and just said like hi to him once or twice, and then David just walks in with a plate of cookies with his face on them.
So actually, what we did was his boss, who wasn't Bill, he was a different dude named KB, who he told Anthony HR needed to talk to him, and that's how we surprised him
What the
with the
what?
cookies of his face. And I got like $150 from his team to buy like 10 cookies because they're really expensive.
What?
So you reached out to this man that you
'Cause they're
have
like-
been obsessed with and who barely knows who you are. You had HR call out to him. He's probably thinking, "Oh my God, I'm in trouble. What the fuck is happening?"
No, he was probably more like, what did David do?
Yeah, David is thinking this. This guy, he doesn't even know who David is. He walks in and it's just like, "Hey, here's a plate of cookies with you on them."
Right?
Amazing.
Oh my
I
God.
love you,
Now,
David.
important clarification. Are they like a screen printed picture of the guy, or are they like decoratively frosting?
They're decorated.
Like,
They are handmade like shortbread cookies
Holy
with like a
shit.
mold It's not like a round cookie printed on it. Someone like sculpted a mold.
They're made
and
with
made
love.
The cookies.
Oh my god.
They were, and then it was love he didn't have for me.
And then like you give the cookies and you're like, hey boss, word of the day is made with love. And he's like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah. It just has no
Right?
clue what you're doing.
Oh my god, this is what happens when you put no points into
David,
wisdom.
what-
Oh my goodness.
What kind of bosses
I know,
have you
I'm all
had?
in. No. Oh my god, yeah, my last one. Oh man, I love my boss Heidi, where she retired and started a weed farm. It's probably my favorite boss ever.
Fuck yeah.
Oh my god, yeah. Fuck, where did I put this picture? It was the fucking best.
Oh my god.
I have pictures of Anthony losing arm wrestling against another manager. Who was like this 5-foot woman. Shit, I really want to find these. I really
Wait,
should have
I'm trying to fathom the circumstances that would lead to like all of this. Like you're like, oh yeah, going to work with Big Tony, and I'm obsessed with Big Tony, and here's cookies of his face. Oh no, but now he's angry at my words of the day. Gotta go chat up Bill Hugger, so that Bill Hugger can reap some vengeance for me. Like what?
God, amazing. Just fantastic. That rules. I never heard that story. That's amazing.
There we are. I like
Alright,
that.
I found the stencil, but I haven't found the cookie yet.
Do we? If and when you find the picture, can we at least like
Alright.
can we crop the photo to show the cookie and upload that to okay.
So I found this. Yeah,
It does look
this is the stencil, but I'm trying to find the cookie. Doesn't it look like Obama? The stencil totally looks like Obama.
Oh no, it's white Obama.
Right?
This looks like this. It looks like a sketch of a criminal that looks like Obama.
Right?
You were attacked by the President of the United States? That doesn't
And he
sound
didn't
right.
want to look at my word of the day.
What's
That's
happening?
amazing.
All right, there we go. That's
Wow.
the pre-banter. We've done it, boys. We
We
nailed
did it. We did it.
Let's.
I'm sure you're like David has set a standard. I don't know if that's a high standard or a low one, but he has set a standard for
it's,
pre-show banter.
Oh,
I would say
fuck.
that's a pretty.
If every
pretty
pre-show
interesting
could
standard.
have a story that good, like, oh man.
God, the problem is, Remington, is you and I have to be that interesting.
David's
Oh,
just
no,
a
yeah, no way, no-
international man of mystery, The most interesting man in the world, David Weinberger.
Oh, fuck. Oh my god.
Oh,
Except
my
like the
God.
watered down office worker version.
Oh my, yeah, my friend. I think the best compliment I ever got in my life is my friend once said, "David, all of David's stories have to be true because he could not think of all the fucking things he talks about. He is not creative enough to have thought of all of these fucking
He
stories."
simply lacks the imagination.
Amazing.
You did come up with the
Amazing.
space Draculas. That's a pretty good idea.
Oh my god, that was a fucking Jordan and I once were working on a blaxploitation movie called Cracker Fist and White Lightning versus the Space Draculas.
Excuse me?
And their mentor was named Blakesploitation. And his do you want to know what his catchphrase was?
Oh god. Yep, let's
Jordan,
hear
do you
it.
remember what? Do you
Of course
remember what
I
his
remember it. Oh.
Jordan, tell him what was Blakesploitation's catchphrase?
Blakesploitation never blacks down.
Holy shit. Oh
Aye.
my god. I
So,
I am shooketh.
oh god, I'm canceled
we were,
now.
Look, we were just teenagers.
Yeah, and for the record, that was actually our friend. So our friend Blake, who is black,
clarify.
he
Yeah.
helped us make the character, and then he was the one who actually mispronounced it because he just said Blacktown. He said Blacktown by accident, and we were like, oh, we gotta fucking use that. That's the best
I like
catchphrase possible.
now comes like the defense. You're like, oh no, you don't understand. And then
Now
there's
it's
like,
not
we were
racist.
young,
Don't
a
worry,
black
no,
guy was
no, guys.
involved.
I'm.
Guys, we.
Oh
yeah.
god. All right, no, this sounds even worse.
I'm starting to understand what Big Tony had, why Big Tony had
I would
issues.
like to
why he doesn't-
clarify,
this is why
I
he-
did not bring up the blaxploitation aspect. I just mentioned
Big
one
Tom.
aspect of it. David did that all on his own.
Yeah, it's not my fault that David talked about a topic I brought up.
I just,
Okay.
Oh, fuck.
All right. It's like
Yeah,
I only
yeah.
mentioned Israel. I didn't say.
Oh,
my
great job,
opinions on
David.
it.
Wonderful. Oh, God. All right.
All right.
Yeah,
That'll hold up
you
in
want
court.
to talk about Red Sprite now?
Oh, that's Red Sprite, the manga about the creation of Red. The manga that's a metaphor for the
Yeah,
creation
that
of Israel.
happened. That
Oh,
was
Jesus.
It really. Oh,
anyway,
God,
yeah,
so-
sorry
alright.
for taking
Anyway.
over your whole podcast.
No, you're good. You're good.
No, I'm
Dylan's
loving it.
gonna have a
Making
field
your
day
life
editing
harder,
this. I'll tell you that right now.
He's gonna just message me like, I'm gonna get a friend request, and he's just gonna say, "Why?
Why?
Why are you like?
Why are you
Why
like
are you
this,
like
David?
this? I don't know.
What a pre-banter.
I just
we haven't
am,
even
and
like.
it's-
Man, I hope the episode is good. I hope the episode lives up to the pre-banter. We'll see.
Hey, what's this show
Oh, it
about
will.
again?
It will.
We haven't even talked about that yet. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
We're
Jordan
not even
asked
in the
me-
show
lay
yet.
out every-
I haven't even
for the
like
record,
ended the pre-banter.
Lay out all the
officially.
dirty
Wait, if I
laundry,
may,
David.
if I-
Go ahead. Just come at me. Just rip me to shreds.
Jordan messaged me like 5 minutes before the show and said, "Dude, what were we supposed to read for this podcast?" And I said, "Jordan, the show's called Anime
I just
Out of
assumed you were
Context."
gonna have us talk about Chainsaw Man. Honestly,
That's a fair guess.
I was like,
We'll be
they
back for the
didn't
Chainsaw Man
tell us
episode.
to read or watch anything, and they're inviting us on. So clearly, they're gonna ask us to talk about the thing that we don't shut the fuck up about, and that's Chainsaw Man. Neither of us have
true.
to reread that.
Yeah.
We would, but you know.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
Remington, have you ever read a manga?
He is
No,
not.
no.
If
David, no, stop it, no.
What? You don't? You're just
No,
afraid
you're
he's
just-
not gonna like it. and then
No,
you'll
it's
invite
that
him
you're
to my
gonna
bar
just
mitzvah.
go on another really long tangent about fucking Chainsaw Man. We do that all the time on our show already.
It's okay,
Fine.
David. Don't worry. I have plans for Chainsaw Man in the future.
Don't
worry.
worry.
Thank God. All right.
All right,
I'll stop.
just as a quick heads
I'll go
up.
take my ADD medicine.
Just as a quick heads up,
Yes.
I probably should have outlined this before we started recording, but I'll just do it right now, and Dylan can cut it out. Love you, Dylan.
Cool.
Let's get started. In 3, 2, 1, mark.
I remember when I once made face cookies for a coworker. Then they went and ruined the moment by asking, "Whose face is that?" And, "Oh God, is that real flesh?" So rarely do people appreciate kind gestures for what they are. Next up, we have one of my personal favorites, Wacky Hypotheticals, where Remington comes up with just the silliest situations imaginable, and Sean has to describe how he would react.
All right,
Yeah.
so now that we've seen how it tastes, how does it work as an enema?
For the functionality of an enema, I would say that it does not fully. I mean, it is still a solid thing. Like, you could probably shove it up there. Like, it wouldn't be that much of an issue. It's pliable enough. But I
Well,
feel like it
let's
just wouldn't
test
clean
this
out your
myth.
system as much.
Let's test this myth. Come on.
Oh, no, that wouldn't be for good podcasting, because that's a very visual element, and listening to me go, "Oh," is not a very great audio clip, and I just gave that to Dylan, and I regret every second of it.
Hi, Sean.
Okay, what do you have in store for me today, Remington? I know you had a bit of a rough week, but that doesn't mean you have to take it out on me in the pre-banter, right?
No, Sean. Don't be silly. I don't hold a grudge. But I figured pre-banters, they risk getting a little bit samey sometimes because we run out of ideas, and there's only infinite BuzzFeed quizzes and improv games we can play. And don't get me wrong, we'll go back to those. But I thought trying out new bits, Sean, I thought that would be fun.
New bits. As
Yeah,
in,
so
we're gonna try and be funny in the pre-banter and do bits of comedy, huh?
Yeah, I have a bit. I have a little bit that I want to see start. It's sort of like a modification of earlier bits, but I think it will work. So if I could get some royalty-free silly music, thank you, Dylan.
Oh, good. More work for the editor.
Oh God. All right, so Sean, this is going to be Wacky Questions, the show where we ask only the wackiest of hypotheticals. All right, so I have a hypothetical for you,
Okay.
Sean.
All right.
And I figure we'll just riff off of the hypothetical. We'll just imagine these wacky hypotheticals and see where it takes us. I think there's a lot of room for comedy. Will we take that room for comedy? Who knows?
Yeah, that tracks. That makes sense.
All right, so Sean, first, today's little hypothetical. All right, so Sean, let's imagine that you were the president of the United States. Lots of power, lots of influence.
Also, a very bad decision on the part of my country, but you know what? They've made worse decisions in the past.
Wildly questionable. So within this hypothetical, the question that I have to pose to you is, Mr. President, what are you going to do about the ongoing Israeli-Palestinian conflict, especially in light of the protests earlier this year and the ever-escalating conflict that has been going on now for decades? I'm sorry, Mr. President, do you think this is funny?
No.
People's lives are on the line, Mr. President.
Yeah, I understand that. I just, I don't know, but part of me thought to myself that this would be a rather funny, amusing situation, but it turns out I was misled. Man, what to do about the,
I'm sorry, is there something humorous about human rights being infringed, Mr. President?
No, there's not. There's absolutely nothing hilarious about that. No.
Who do you think is primarily responsible for the escalation of conflict?
Well, very clearly it's probably the people who were in charge of the office before me, because clearly I am trying to, work to improve the situation we are in.
Do you believe that Israel is justified in continuing to settle disputed areas despite agreements to do otherwise?
I personally would leave that to the experts on these discussions. I personally do not. I'd have to speak with my cabinet. I don't. Look, it's a very complex situation, and there's not going to be a very clear, obvious answer to it.
And there we go, folks. The first installment of Wacky Hypotheticals.
Remington, you son of a bitch! Wacky
Who knows what
hypothetical, my
Wacky
ass!
Hypothetical we'll do next time, guys.
God damn you, Remington! No! Oh, God! I'm too oxygen deprived for this. No! God damn it! Oh, what's that in the air? It tastes like revenge, and it is not sweet to me, I'm afraid.
I don't know what you're saying. It was just the new bit, Wacky Hypotheticals. I thought, it'd be pretty wacky if Sean was president. That's a good hypothetical.
I mean, yes, it would be wacky if I was president, yes. That would be a wacky scenario. What makes it not so wacky is me actually having to try and come up with some improvisational goof, or not goof, about the fucking Palestinian crisis. How the fuck am I supposed to turn that into something interesting, Rem, that doesn't make people want to kill themselves, or the US government, or both? So with that in mind, we should probably start the podcast, you son of a bitch. The son of a bitch is directed at Dylan, not at you, Remington, for once.
Oh yeah, I'm an innocent boy.
Yeah, you're innocent in this one. The remaining part of this fruit shall be with me for the rest of the podcast. And I shall get started. We shall get started even in 3, 2, 1.
I fondly look back on when I was in politics. Served by vassals, foreign dignitaries bringing me tribute, and mounting my foes on spikes as warnings. Good times. And finally, we have one of the highlights from the boys' failed improv career. And since it's October, there really is no better option than from episode 93, when somehow Don King wasn't the biggest monster in the boxing ring.
All right. So, Remington, I take it we're going to be trying the improv thing again.
Yes, we have yet to receive feedback on how poorly it went. I feel like it was a solid 5 out of 10.
Hey, that's higher than we usually get.
Exactly. So maybe it's above average. It'll be shortly after we record this where we get feedback and for people to tell us to never do it again. And little do they know there'll be a second one coming.
The beauty of hindsight and pre-recording all of our shit. Okay, Rem, so who are we, where are we, and why are we?
All right, so our location
Okay.
is a boxing ring.
A place that neither of us ever belong.
We know so much about sports.
That's where you use your feet to kick a ball, isn't it?
Yes. Our relationship is a vampire and a werewolf. So we're a vampire and a werewolf in a boxing ring. And then a word that we should try to use, it's been merciful unto us, I think, cemetery. So try to implement that.
That is a very soft ball we have just been thrown.
I mean, frankly, we need it because we're figuring out a vampire and a goddamn werewolf in a boxing ring. So without further ado, let's take this guaranteed masterpiece away.
All right, you better pick up your... Excuse me. Sorry, I had to take out my mouth guard.
Listen, you gotta prepare for the fight. All right, you're going up against Frankenstein, but are you ready to fight Frankenstein?
I mean, I could be, but honestly, he's a very big man, and I don't know how much blood a corpse has.
No, that's not the attitude to have, all right? Listen, I've been into the cemetery all day long, howling at the moon to give you some benefit, to give you my prayers. I have confidence in you. I also have both of our life savings invested into this.
Wait, what?
Yes, so if you don't win, we can't go back to the condo.
Wait, we've been downgraded to a condo?
Yeah, by the way, we got downgraded to a condo. If you lose, we no longer even have the condo.
The really important question I have for you is, what constitutes an undead's life savings? Because honestly, I feel like I've spent it already, if that's the case.
Well, you know your investments at the blood bank.
Oh no, I need those to live!
Well, bad news.
Or to not live. It's very confusing at this point.
Frankie is gonna end up with all of it, or more actually, Frankie's bride. All right, she's gonna end up with everything. Betting against her. All right. So, first round, you ready?
No, I don't think I am. I'm terrified. I only have little... oh god, here we go!
You can do it. Ah, shit. Okay, first round didn't go well. First round did not go well.
I only have one thing left.
Hey, but you grazed the side of his ear a little bit there. I think he might have been a little bit scared.
Oh goodness, if this doesn't go well, I'm so firing your ass.
Oh, here, I got a plan.
What's your plan?
All right, hand me your cloak.
This is the only way I can stay fashionable.
If you hand me the cloak, I'm gonna step in there. He's not gonna know the difference.
I am a little bit concerned by the amount of hair differential we
listen,
have.
you always bring up the hair thing, okay? First of all, not getting waxed anytime soon. Second of all, no one can tell the difference. He's got a second-hand brain over there.
Okay, first of all, that's a very common misconception. Originally, Frankenstein is actually quite intelligent.
Oh, man. Do you see why no one hangs out with you besides me? And it's only out of obligation.
I thought you liked me.
All right. Here we go. The life savings. Ugh. Okay. All right. Bring it, Frankie. Blah, blah, blah. I am a vamp. Oh.
So round 2 wasn't a success.
Good news and bad news. Good news and bad news. Bad news. You lost the fight.
Oh.
Good news. I bet against you. We still got the condo.
Great.
Let's see.
Caruso, go fuck yourself.
There we go. That one, first of all, went way more successfully than
Way
the
more
last. You're going to
successfully.
see the mess of last week, Dylan. Good luck.
All right, let's get started in 3, 2, 1, mark.
Bubba Hotep still owes me $50 from the results of that fight. Thank you all so much for listening to this week's Pre-Banter compilation. We have nearly 100 of these, along with several bonus episodes available on the Anime Out of Context Patreon. Jonington will be back next week for more Anime Out of Context. And, you'll excuse me, I can hear the fire trucks arriving and I don't want to be here when they pull up. Auf Wiedersehen, Lieblings!
Generally speaking, a good amount of old school royalty. Fuck children.